Singha Perumal is an aged gangster who forces himself on a girl named Sabu, but is unable to perform and vents his frustration by slapping her. Later, Singha Perumal's Lt. Pasupathi tells him that a large stash of cocaine worth 20 million rupees, $250,000 United States dollars, has entered the city. The man bringing the stash wants to sell it for 5 million rupees, $63,000 United States dollars. Pasupathi sees the profit, the long-term benefit, to control the cocaine market with such an ample supply, and the recognition that they are able to pull off such a deal. The drawback is that the stash belongs to their arch-rival Gajendran. Singha Perumal knows that Gajendran is a vicious and unpredictable adversary and that the venture is risky, so he decides to pass. Pasupathi suggests that Singha Perumal is getting old and asks him to loan him 5 million rupees, $63,000 United States dollars, so he can do the job himself. Pasupathi is prepared to face the risks, and in return for the loan, he offers Singha Perumal a cut of the profits. Singha Perumal agrees to the loan, but instead asks Pasupathi to first get the stash and then think of the profit distribution. Carlian is a destitute farmer, living with his young, street-smart son Kodukapuli in the slums and earns a meager living staging cockfights. Coincidentally, Singha Perumal loves to watch these cockfights. One evening, a man arrives in a bunk with Carlian for the night. The man is actually the cocaine courier, who routinely transports various stashes of drugs in and out of the city and collects a relatively small fee, 10,000 rupees, 130 United States dollars, for each trip. That evening, after a long bout of drinking, he reveals that he has learnt the actual value of the stash and now intends to sell it himself. Seeing Sabu in tears, Singha Perumal asks one of his men Sapai to take her out and comfort her so she is prepared to perform for him at night. Sapai takes her to the beach and tries to console her. Pasupathi and the men meet with the tipster and drive off to retrieve the stash. En route in the car, one of the men receives a call from Singha Perumal, who orders him to bump off Pasupathi as soon as the stash is acquired. Pasupathi overhears the call and gets into a Mexican standoff with others. In a desperate ploy, he deliberately provokes a cop at a checkpoint, getting arrested and then later making an escape. The men kidnap his wife Kasturi and use her as bait to lure Pasupathi. Singha Perumal orders them to bring Kasturi to him. Meanwhile, Sabu hates being a plaything for Singha Perumal and wants to live life on her own terms. She tries to persuade Sapai to think for himself and realize that Singha Perumal is using them. Sapai, however, is too fearful and weak to oppose Singha Perumal. Sabu and Sapai become unlikely friends, and Sabu continues to hope for a way out. Sabu is somewhat educated and learns whatever she can about the world outside Singha Perumal. Meanwhile, Carlian stages his cockfight the following day, but this time, his prize rooster gets killed. He is now in serious financial trouble. Kodukapuli senses this and immediately goes to see if their visitor, still unconscious, has any money. They find out that the man had overdone his drink and died. Carlian and Kodukapuli find the cocaine stash and the phone number of a prospective buyer. Singha Perumal and Pasupathi, on the other hand, Singha Perumal is worried as his stash has not arrived. Nor has he got word that Pasupathi is dead. He gets an angry call from Gajapathy, Gajendran's brother and right-hand man. If Pasupathi seizes Gajapathy's stuff, Gajendran will unleash a gang war. The cunning Singaparamal tells Gajapathy that Pasupathy has gone rogue and Gajapathy is free to take out Pasupathy. Singaparamal figures this will benefit him both ways. He will get the stash, and Pasupathy will be killed by Gajendran. Gajendran sends his thugs after Pasupathy, who is on the run. Now that Singaparamal has become his enemy, Pasupathy figures that Gajendran could possibly become an ally. Carlion calls Singaparamal to meet and make a deal for the stash. While waiting for him, Singaparamal's thugs arrive and kidnap Carlion. After continuous torture, Carlion is unable to reveal anything as Kodukapuli has the stash. Kodukapuli ends up accidentally calling Pasupathy's number and offers to trade the stash for his father. Pasupathy joins Kodukapuli and offers the same trade to Singaparamal, the stash in return for Carlion and Kasturi. Pasupati places a call to Gajendran and offers to reveal the location of the stash. Gajendran and his gang arrive at the location to make the exchange with Pasupathy. Singaparamal's thugs also arrive. Pasupathy pretends to offer the stash to Gajapathy, but instead slices his throat right in front of Gajendran. An enraged Gajendran and his gang chase Pasupathy. Pasupathy leads them around the block where Singaparamal's gang lay waiting. Both gangs, mistaking Pasupathy's loyalties, charge at each other and ensure in a gang war. Pasupathy gets out of the fray and watches as Singaparamal's key generals and Gajendran hack each other to bits. Pasupathy's plan to decimate the two strong factions has succeeded, and he returns to finish off Singaparamal. Back in his room, Singaparamal discovers that the bag with the loan money is missing. He rushes to the conclusion that Sapai took it. When Sapai returns, having been sent by Sabu to fetch fruits, Singaparamal beats him up severely. After being beaten up, Sapai shoots Singaparamal dead. All of a sudden, Sabu emerges from the shadows and is proud of Sapai, but she shoots him dead. When Pasupathy arrives, he finds the two men dead and Sabu in tears. Having always been sympathetic to Sabu's suffering with Singaparamal, he says she is free to go. Pasupathy assumes command of the remaining thugs of Singaparamal's gang, and his wife Kasturi is also unharmed. He later gets the stash and pays Kodukapuli a fair commission. It is finally revealed that Sabu had planned the whole chain of events. She sent Sapai with the money bag to provoke Singaparamal's temper. She retrieves the bag and quietly leaves the city to begin a new life. She remarks that the men basically mistrusted, misused, and slaughtered each other. In her view, Sapai too was not really an innocent victim. She says that Sapai is also a man. But all men are Sapai. The word Sapai has varied meanings, but in this case, it means insignificant to the point of being contemptuous. The film ends with her line, "The best thing about being a woman is that it is a man's world."